It's the Sunday Morning Brew with Maddie and Elle.
We made it.
What's up?
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Good morning. We both look tired.
What a late night we had, huh?
No. Oh, you got your coffee?
Heck
So
yeah,
I
I got my coffee.
wasn't gonna have time to have coffee, and I walked out to run into my office, and Grant handed me a cup, and I'm like,
Grant,
oh.
MVP, baby. That's what I'm talking about. First win.
Husband of the year today.
First win of the fight week, right? I mean, you guys leave Tuesday.
We do, yeah.
He's literally in his fight week, but he's still like, I still got to be a good husband. That's a good man right there.
He's the best.
I love that.
Yes.
Shout out to Grind Ops Coffee Co. They're always keeping us fueled. So make sure you check out their brand. They're officer owned, they're veteran owned, and they love giving back to the community. So we can definitely support that. Through UFC 307, I was kind of nervous. Hello, Amelia. How are you? Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for joining. I was kind of nervous because it's like, how do you follow the sphere, you know? But I think UFC 307 was great. I think there was definitely some speed bumps or some weird moments, but I feel like every time they're in that city, something weird happens. So
something in the mountain air.
I actually missed a little bit of the prelims. Do you know the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco?
I do not.
What? Oh my God. Please sound off in the comments if you know this comedian. I went and saw him in Boston last night. Fantastic. He's hilarious. So if you like stand up, check out Sebastian. Okay. But I managed to catch the Wonder Boy fight, which was devastating. And then of course the main card. So
the prelims were pretty solid too. Carla Esparza and Tisha Pennington had a fantastic fight. I know some people were upset with that decision. Me personally, I thought Tisha won, and I really did want Carla, of course, to be able to go out on that win.
Right. Good morning, Chris.
Close fight. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Ryan Spann guillotining OSP. Oh man,
there was a lot of good ones.
Yasmin Lucindo and Marina Rodriguez was a great fight too. That was another really close fight.
A lot of moments where people were scratching their heads though with the judges, and we'll definitely get to the whole judges debacle. But what were some of your favorite moments last night from the main card?
Oh gosh,
I know. I say we just go right down the list here. So, Wonder Boy looked fantastic until he didn't.
I agree. No, I agree.
I think he looked fantastic. He was doing all the right things. That man is 41.
Man, he's cracked the code. His fight style, he's obviously yes, he got knocked out this time, but he stays so safe. We don't see Wonder Boy taking a lot of damage. We don't see him in a lot of wars. And even after getting knocked out devastatingly, the video he posted after, he still looked pretty unscathed. So
he still looked pretty.
So it's he really has cracked the code. I just feel like he's aging down at this point.
It's wild. He needs to come out with some type of TB12 method, but
skincare.
Wonder Boy method. Yes. And I need his skincare because he looks flawless. Kayla Harrison, Ketlin Vieira. I liked that Kayla had to go through some adversity. I liked that she had to. Yes, I think that was a very important fight for her. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was closer than expected. I think we all thought it was a little closer than expected.
I think, honestly, I think it's wild how technical Ketlin and Kayla's fight is versus the co-main event. To be honest, all that being in the same division, and until those last couple of rounds, but I think Kayla improves so dramatically with each performance, and I agree with you. I think going through some adversity, showing she can fight 3 rounds and win a decision, and yes, closer than we may have expected after seeing what she did to Holly Holm, but still a dominating performance, right? Still won all 3 rounds at altitude, I might add. So
at altitude,
training at sea level, that's my fear of living in Florida and then going to the mountains to fight, living at sea level and going to altitude to fight.
Have you trained at altitude before?
So my family lives in Utah, right outside Salt
okay.
Lake City. So every time I go up there, if I go for a run, if I do anything, I feel like I'm having an asthma attack. So it definitely requires a lot of.
It's no joke. Like when they
A lot
talk
of, like,
about
time to acclimate,
altitude,
yeah.
it's a real thing. It's like I was in Mexico City and I trained in Mexico City and I felt like an elephant was on my chest. It was
Different.
It was terrible. It was terrible. So, yeah, great performance from Kayla. Yeah, let's jump to the co-main for a second because what the fuck was that? Like, I'm sorry, but the amount of time that I was yelling at this TV, like, you guys are elite level fighters and you look like you could be on Rough and Rowdy or something. Like, I just was not impressed with
You had Celsius today, Maddie.
no, but I have coffee and I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep. So we're fucking going,
Maddie's
baby.
unleashing today, guys.
Because it just blows my mind that you can be on that level. And like, I was not impressed with their fight IQ. I was not impressed with their choices. And then you have like the weirdest judging system ever for like the majority of the fights. I did not have her winning for a second.
How did you score round one?
Round one. I'm trying to remember. I want to say I had Rocky winning 1. I had Pena winning 2 and 3.
Yeah, and then Rocky
winning 4 and 5.
I did not think the first round. I guess it was kind of close, but Pena didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like she just didn't do much. And even when she was on top, like DC said it best in the commentary booth, you have to utilize your ground. Look at what Kayla does when Kayla gets on top of people. Right. Like you utilize your ground and pound to set up your submissions.
Jillian Robertson. She does it.
Jillian does a phenomenal job of this. I agree, Chris. Pennington just hadn't. Well, yes and no. I agree to some extent. She did get up at one point and got away, and then she just didn't do the same things again.
Yeah,
Pena made some good adjustments. She kept her broken down the second time when Pennington was trying to give her back to get up. But yeah, I agree. I just don't think Raquel looked like a fish out of water for the most part on the ground.
And it's like adapt. Like, please just adapt. Like, we get it. Your fight camp was probably a lot of boxing and that was your game plan. But if like
be able to make in-fight adjustments.
Your opponent is giving you their front leg, if the overhand if the hook is landing, if the overhand is landing, like figure it out. Like it was
the question for you, is this a fight IQ issue for Raquel? Is this a cornering issue from her coaches? Like they were in the corner for most of the night. We got to hear a lot of corner work. I never heard them calling for that calf kick.
Yeah. No, you're so right.
And I agree with you. Like look how drastically the main event changed from Khalil Roundtree exploding with these just phenomenal, crazy, powerful combinations in the first to as the calf started to wear on him. Like that's how big of a difference it makes to attack that lead leg.
Right.
Everybody should be utilizing that, in my opinion, at least to some extent. But it just, there was no adjustments on either part, to be honest. Like
seriously. And chopping down the tree. It's like if you want to stop movement, you chop the leg.
I mean, when we talk about movement, there was zero movement.
There was not much movement.
The co-main event.
The co-main event's a little
different. You should be attacking that leg.
Right.
If your opponent is standing square in front of you, and we can get into this later, but that's why both these fights, I think, are great matchups for Kayla, is if you stand in front of Kayla, like you're going to end up on your back.
You can't, both of those performances from each lady, you cannot bring that to Kayla Harrison. She will dismantle you very quickly. And we really haven't seen Kayla Harrison striking just yet, but it's not going to have to be all that spectacular if that's how Juliana Pena is going to come out.
It was slow. Like Ketlin Vieira, there was that danger of that really crisp, 1-2 to come back at, and Kayla had to be very measured on her way in because that cross was coming over very straight and very sharp. Pena, the striking's a little bit slower.
Yeah,
a little bit slower. It's a little more labored, and there's no foot work. Like there was no foot movement whatsoever.
She looked toast in the last round. Like, she was like, the way that she was holding her body, the way she was moving around, I'm like, I don't know how you could possibly give her the victory. I just don't see it. Maybe I have to
I'll
watch
have
it
to go
again.
back and watch the first again
Yeah.
because I definitely gave the first to Pennington in the moment. Chris is saying Pena won the first 3 clearly.
Yeah.
She won 2 and 3 clearly. I agree. I think the first round was, if anything, very close.
Yeah.
But definitely not clear one way or the other. I honestly, this fight was decently close. It was decently close. All the female fights last night, except Kayla's fight, were pretty darn close.
Yeah, they were.
There were some split decisions. There was some discrepancies on judges' scorecards. I definitely think that first round is a study moment for some judges. Like,
yeah,
I need to go back and watch it again, but I didn't feel like Pena did much in the first. So
I know.
And Chris responded to my question too.
I forget which fight it was, but Joe Rogan commenting on the judges not even watching.
Yeah, Joe Rogan needs to not say that.
That's what I said.
Carla, well, he said it after the co-main event, which I did agree with him, but I was like, man, you can't be saying that. Like, not in the commentary booth. But he literally called Carla and Tisha's fight a robbery, which was an incredibly close fight that I did think Tisha won. But regardless, you can't call a fight like that a robbery, especially when you're working in the commentary booth. Come on.
They were ripping the judges last night. They were ripping them. Like, they were not being.
There were some very close fights. Like, I think there were probably some fights that were difficult to judge last night.
Yeah. But they were not being diplomatic last night.
No.
And it was pretty entertaining. I want to ask you about the Jose Aldo Mario Bautista fight, because Dana White was very vocal about, like, if he wants the refs to get involved more when you see a fighter stalling. Do you consider what Bautista was doing stalling, or do you think it was just a good
strategy?
I thought it was just a good strategy. Like you're fighting Jose Aldo.
Not a boring fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's my argument. Here's my argument, guys. If you guys want to watch striking so goddamn much, why does no one watch kickboxing? Why did Glory Kickboxing go out of business?
Don't get me started.
Go watch kickboxing exists. Muay Thai exists. It's not as big as the UFC because you guys like this more. Like, we like this more. But for some reason, in the moment, we forget about the fact that we don't go and try and find Muay Thai fights to watch.
And it's like at one point, Mario was working and the ref was so close to breaking it up. And I was like, don't you dare break that up. Don't you dare break that up. Like, yes, okay, it's not as flashy and exciting as Pereira and Khalil Roundtree, but the fact of the matter is, this is MMA.
Here's the thing. Okay, Khalil and Pereira was a very exciting fight too, but there was a lot more like waiting in that fight than there was in the Aldo Bautista fight. Bautista put on a pace.
Yeah, it was
Aldo,
wild.
Which is 100% how you have to fight a guy like Jose Aldo. Because he's so good and his takedown defense is so good. But if you don't mix it up, you're losing a striking fight to Jose Aldo most of the time. Jonathan Martinez trying to strike with Jose Aldo the entire time. Didn't work out very well for him. You know, you have to be able to mix it up on a guy like that. And yeah, you might not take him down. Marab didn't get him down at all, but he still beat him by utilizing his grappling in those clinch exchanges. So I agree with you, Leprechaun. There is Muay Thai on every day and nobody's watching it. They're watching the UFC because we like MMA. So why are we complaining that there's not enough striking in MMA? But
I think it's important to say there is instances of stalling. And I think when you stall, it's very obvious when you're stalling. Mario Bautista, I don't think that was stalling. He was working. He was keeping a very scary striker at bay, and he was fighting a smart fight.
And he was constantly moving. Like, he was trying to get the takedown. He was there was no point. Like, how many fights have we watched heavyweight, women's bantamweight, women's featherweight, where there was a ton of time where we're just clenched on the cage holding each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's stalling.
Yeah.
I can agree. There are definitely stalling situations. I don't think that was the case in this fight. I agree with you.
Yeah. Julian Murray. What's up, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Long time no see. I wish Rogan would have done what he did with Mario Yamasaki and asked the ref what fight he was actually watching. Yeah, for real though. For real. They were spicy in the broadcast booth last night. I was here for it. I was here for it. You can always count on Joe Rogan to say some weird shit. It's just so funny.
That Joe Rogan privilege that he's very well earned, but he definitely speaks his mind. He's earned that right. He has. My household always gets giddy with the Alex Pereira walkout. And I'm saying this right now. That is the best walkout in UFC. Like 100%.
Nobody tops it. It's so good.
How is he a superstar everywhere now? Like, that dude could sell out a pay-per-view.
Well, he totally is a superstar
the middle
everywhere.
Of nowhere. Like, everybody, and doesn't speak English very well. Like, doesn't speak a lot of English.
Yeah,
but has just transformed himself into an absolute superstar. Like, what a branding. What a branding for Alex
His
Pereira.
story is so crazy. Like, there will be a documentary about this man, and I will watch it, and it'll be great. But a litany of injuries apparently that he was dealing with. I'm like, damn, dude. And it almost like when you hear that, you're like, oh, maybe that's why it took him 2.5 rounds to kind of get going.
I think I stand by what I said last week. Like, Dave told me I was crazy for saying that this could have been a close fight that ended with a knockout. And I think Khalil Roundtree is a very difficult man to fight. And I think he is world class.
Yes.
He's just, there's this much space, between a guy like Alex and a guy like Khalil.
Yeah.
I think Alex just has more tools. He's so composed. And they were talking about him like being right in your face. Like, that's got to look terrifying.
Dude.
When you're throwing heat and Alex Pereira is just
doesn't give a fuck. Literally doesn't give two shits. Like, when you're in a fight, and Elle, I'm sure you can attest to this, when you throw your best punch and the opponent doesn't fucking, they don't care. It is so disheartening.
It's like you shoot. So
I never got a chance to shoot. Okay. It is so disheartening. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he is such an impressive fighter all around. And now he's doing funny skits on his Instagram. Like,
I saw the trash bags.
Dude, the man is a star.
He really is a superstar. And the UFC needed one. I think they needed one with John Jones is very close to retirement. We're probably never going to see Conor fight again.
Yep.
I think a lot of us had our eggs in the O'Malley basket, but I feel like Pereira is where they should be.
Totally.
Oh, I missed a couple comments.
But I think we need, like, hats off to Khalil Roundtree. That man is a stud. Like, he had a couple moments where he had Pereira thinking and reevaluating, and then it's like, I don't think we've seen somebody take that many punches from Alex Pereira.
No, and dude, Khalil Roundtree's so tough. Getting to see him get like that standing ovation from the crowd after that made me that made my heart happy because he deserved it. Like, and Dave and I were talking about this last week. Like, you have nothing to lose when you're in a position like Khalil Roundtree was. So when you go out and you win rounds against Alex Pereira, like, your stock just skyrockets.
Exactly. Exactly what Julian's saying. For sure. Yeah. Like, his stock did nothing. It just went like this. He gained so many more fans because of that performance. People know his name. Like, it was just,
he's probably getting one of like the losers or winners of one of these big fights that's coming up where it's not a title eliminator because we have a lot coming up. Somebody said Magomed Ankalaev best be next. Magomed Ankalaev still has to fight Alexander Rakic this month. So that's coming up really, really soon. So we do have a title eliminator for that weight class this month, So Dave and I were talking about how upset people were about Khalil getting that title shot. Oh, we also were talking about he would have been like the lowest ranked guy to fight for a title.
Yes.
That is not true because Joe Soto, I totally forgot this happened. Joe Soto fought for a UFC title in his debut. It was like,
what year is this?
Oh God, it was ages ago. Like, and so did Jake Shields, which he was like killing it in Strikeforce at the time, but like, it has happened. Crazier things than Khalil Roundtree have happened.
I love it. Elle fact check Dawson. I like it.
I honestly don't even know if there were rankings at that point. But 2003. Thank you, Leprechaun. Leprechaun's got Google pulled up.
That's awesome.
Got the stats in the ready to go. Yeah. 2003. Yeah, that was definitely a different era of the UFC, but crazier things definitely have happened.
That's so funny.
Yep, he got whooped by GSP. Jake Shields did 100%.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's wild. Magomed would beat Yuri. I would actually really like to see that fight. It's kind of weird that they haven't fought each other yet.
Yeah.
I
wonder what's up with Yuri. Like, what comes next for Yuri, you know?
Maybe Khalil.
Honestly, sure. I don't mind that at all.
Leprechaun said y'all are a little younger than me.
No,
were you around? I wasn't watching the UFC yet in 3rd grade. I had to go back and rewatch those.
I need to see the rankings here for a second.
Oh, I missed a comment.
Yeah, full disclosure, I didn't start following MMA until like 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. I started kickboxing in 2015. And then I would just like totally drink the Kool-Aid and I was like, this is my identity now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, like okay.
This is gonna be my entire personality.
1000%. I am not ashamed to admit that.
Good personality. I support it. Leprechaun asked me how bad. We did not get hit, Leprechaun. It was not Florida got hit, but not where I live. We don't usually get too bad on the hurricanes. We just get a lot of rain where I'm at. So we did get that, but all the really bad damage has been up in North Carolina, which reminds me, guys, our phenomenal sponsor, Wow Wipes, is doing some awesome work in North Carolina. They are a local business up there. So they are helping out the Asheville community by donating thousands of packs of their shower wipes to people who are without water, without shelter, and without those basic human needs right now. So please head over to getwowwipes.com. And every purchase will be matched by an additional donation of Wow Wipes.
You have 4 more days. 4 more days to take advantage of this, and they're crushing their goals so far, which is awesome. So yeah, big shout out to Wow Wipes. We love them so much. We love businesses that make a difference. So they have already donated more than 5,000 packs.
5,000 packs. That's just initially. That's incredible.
Let's go.
No, I'm actually not inland. I'm like 20 minutes from the beach. I just wherever we're at for some reason. We have not been hit by any of the hurricanes since I have lived here for 2.5 years. So just knock on wood. Just rain is all I get. We got another one coming. We got Hurricane Milton.
Shut up, Chris.
Ladies, who's Milton?
Who's naming these hurricanes?
I love them. Helene.
Helene, Hurricane Helene. So yeah, great. I thought it was a great card. I'll give it an A. It was pretty good. The judging, we'll give it a B minus. It was a little weird. One day we'll get some type of reprieve from these weird judging moments, but until then, we're just gonna have to judge them from afar.
People hate 2 things: change and the way things are. So.
1000%.
That's a Grantism. I stole that from him.
That's a good one. Speaking of Grant, happy fight week. So excited.
I will not be here Tuesday, guys. I will be
fine. You got shit to do. You got shit to do. So yeah, tell us a little bit about it. You're leaving Tuesday.
Yes. So we're heading out early Tuesday morning to Vegas. We'll get Grant over to the Fighter Hotel so he can sign posters, get all checked in, all that fun stuff.
I want a signed poster.
Maybe.
See,
they usually give him a couple.
I want to like redo my office because like, what is this?
I feel like I need more stuff on my walls too. It looks too white.
Yeah, we got to do something about this.
Do you see these canvases though? We had a fan make us these, and he's super, super duper cool. But he made them for us and brought them to ATT and like.
Are you on the top one?
Yeah.
You should put that one on the bottom so we can see it.
I'm happy. Maybe I'll switch them. I'll alternate. Every few weeks.
Give us the details. What is Grant like on fight week? Is he a diva? Is he fun? What is he like?
He's just pretty tired, just general weight cut feels, but he's pretty easy to deal with, it's not that bad. He's pretty chill. He gets hungry, he gets cranky just like we all do when we're cutting weight, but
of course.
Weight cuts bring out I've seen atheists pray in the tub, guys. Weight cuts bring out all sorts of things, but we have a pretty chill fight week. He doesn't like to go out and do a lot. We generally stay at the house with, other than when he's training, we stay at the house. It's me, him, our good friend Dakota Bush, who is absolutely phenomenal during fight week. He takes care of anything and everything that you could possibly need. Just stand up, guys, stand up teammate. And then we'll have Mike Brown and Thiago Alves there. So
perfect.
We'll all be hanging out. We play this game called Liar's Dice that Mike Brown taught us that is so much fun. It's like BS, but with dice. It's hard to explain over this, but yeah, you could probably Google it. Google Liar's Dice. It is the most fun game ever. And also Mike Brown is the most manipulative little dude during this game.
God.
He knows how to mess with everybody. So
he'll
be like, oh, you better call BS on that. There's no way. There's no freaking way. He'll get in your head. He's so good at it.
I love games.
Wild. Love it.
I love when people get competitive. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, Leprechaun. Are you talking about Grant Leprechaun? How much will he charge me for his signature? I will ask him. DM me on IG on Instagram. It's at the ruthless_Elle Dawson. I'll ask Grant if he'll shoot you something.
Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, Salt Lake City was great. It was fun.
I loved it. Have you ever been? I want to go.
Yeah, I mean that's where my family lives.
You just said that. I'm sorry.
We're going back. You're good. We're going back in December. It's beautiful. Utah is gorgeous, guys.
I want to go.
The snow, it's not super. It's not as cold in the winter as the Midwest or Northeast, because it's how you get that bone chilling cold because of the humidity, and it's a wet cold.
Oh, it's coming.
It's a dry cold up in Utah. The snow is beautiful and fluffy. And the sun feels super nice. So it's just beautiful in the winter. Incredible dry summers, 75, 80 degrees, but 0% humidity.
Damn, so I'm going to have to go check it out. Yeah, Rhode Island is in its prime right now. Fall is gorgeous. Everything.
Fall.
It is almost sweater weather, almost, but it's beautiful foliage. I actually bought a new candle. I want to show it to you all here. It is it's called cider donut.
Oof. Have you ever had apple cider donuts?
Honey, have I had apple cider donuts? Yes, I have. Anyway, I think that'll do it for us today.
So.
UFC 307 in the books. It was fantastic. Hold the phone. What? Are they all polygamous people?
No, that's actually a very small sect of Mormonism. Most Mormons.
Oh, okay. We're talking Mormons. Got it. But
my family is not Mormon, so
no. Anyway, on that note, we're gonna head out. Elle will be busy this week with Fight Week, but Dave and I will be holding down the fort on Tuesday for the Fight Bananas show. And honestly, we have a show basically every day of the week. So make sure you're tuning into the Fight Bananas channels because we love keeping you informed. Grind Ops Coffee Co. We love you. Get Wow Wipes. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Have a great day.